Hey, Hail Stalkers, thanks for joining us today. I'm meteorologist Taylor Cox, and we are at the Raising Hail Tour in Chicago. I have gotten out of the airport, as you guys saw from the forecast yesterday, and now we are at the Raising Hail Tour today. It hasn't technically started quite yet. People are still filtering in this morning. We've got the first few early birds here right now, but we're going to see a lot more people later on today. We've set up our trivia for today. We've set up our presentations. We've got a great lineup of speakers that are going to be talking about everything from when do you bring in a lawyer to your claims process to how to document wind and snow and ice damage. We've got all kinds of different sponsors and speakers today, so we're very excited about this event. But I know you guys want to talk about the forecast because we do have storms in the forecast, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm hoping that today you guys can hear me better than yesterday, but if you can't, as always, let me know in the comments section. Now, while we are quiet and warm in terms of weather, that's not going to last very long. It's relatively warm for February standards, and we're enjoying that nice weather right now. But we do have storms in the forecast, so let's go ahead and talk about those multiple storm risks incoming for mainly the Midwest. Ohio Valley is gearing up for storms here, but we could have even a few storms down in the south for this weekend. Second weekend in a row that we've seen wet weather in our southern states. Let's talk about the last 48 hours here. Yeah, over the last 48 hours, it's been very busy, mainly Saturday night into Sunday morning. We had over 20 tornado reports anywhere from East Texas through Louisiana and the western side of Mississippi. After that, it was an all-out wind fest on Sunday during the day. You can see all of those wind reports across the northern side of Florida. But over the last 24 hours, it's been a lot more quiet, except for a surprising state. It's trying to get in on the severe weather action out in California. The west coast of California saw a lot of wind reports yesterday. You can see anywhere from Fresno to Los Angeles. And then we even got some hail reports. They were small, smaller than the size of a quarter. However, still some hail reports in California, especially in February. We don't see that very often. So something to talk about there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the current conditions. You can see that we've got a lot of showers across the northern plains. We've also got some showers anywhere from Denver all the way down to New Mexico. That ranges from rain showers to snow showers, depending on where you are in elevation. But what this is telling me is it's just setting us up for more snow that is to come in the northern plains later on today and early tomorrow. Actually, in these areas, we have some winter storm watches and warnings in effect. As you can see, they're highlighted in pink. In pink, that light pink color is going to be your winter storm warning, where we are expecting blizzard conditions in some areas. A winter weather advisory there in purple. And then as we saw yesterday, we are going to see once again today that fire danger is elevated across a good portion of the plains in areas that we have that red flag warning highlighted there in that hot pink color. Other than that, it's going to be a very windy and warm day across most of the U.S. Moving on here, let's go ahead and take a look at your severe weather breakdown. So this is one of my favorite graphics that shows exactly what's going to happen over the next 5 days. We have a low pressure system moving through the northern plains right now. That is going to be storm number 1. That's going to be your snowstorm for the most part. So your winter storm right there over the next 24 hours in the northern plains. Then we go up to the Midwest, and that'll be your low pressure system number 2. It'll be going through the central plains by Wednesday and Thursday, creating those storms. That'll be your most significant chance for storms this week by the midweek. So mainly Wednesday and Thursday, but I think that Thursday is the day that you should be aware of. So midweek storm system by that low pressure system. But wait, we're not done. We have another low pressure system moving our way across the Rockies and into the plains on Saturday. It does intensify as it moves into places like Oklahoma and Kansas, but not for long. It looks like it's a messy system here. Not everything is completely organized with this system, so still some questions about what exactly is going to happen on Saturday in the south, but we should get some sort of moisture, whether in the form of snow or of rain or storms. We're not quite sure yet. After that, early next week, a high pressure system sets in, allowing all of that warm air once again across the U.S. A seasonably warm February is going to continue, but that high pressure system is basically going to kill all chances for storms. So after that, we get very dry, and that's whenever we see that fire weather increase once again. So as always, put your weather questions in the comments section, and we will get to those here in just a few minutes. But I want to go ahead and break down the severe weather risk for you. So let's start with your dew points. In terms of dew points, it's honestly not too shabby right now. pretty impressive dew points for February across the central and eastern portion of Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. We're going to see that just increase over the next few days. And what you're seeing here is you're seeing a very tight gradient. So basically what that means is, do you see that area that transitions very fast from green to brown? That tight gradient is very important for storm development because it indicates that we've got some sort of boundary right here that's splitting us from a lot of moisture to very dry air. And that's also going to encourage storms, especially as we get into early to late Thursday. You're going to see that gradient really start to tighten up in some of these areas that we've got a low pressure system moving through as well. So what this tells me is that we've got moisture, we've got some sort of front, that low pressure system lift, some sort of lift there is very important. Do we have CAPE? Convective Available Potential Energy. Your future CAPE, it's not bad. It's a little bit more impressive in this run than what I saw earlier today. But it's not too terribly impressive either. So I think there's a lot of questions about these storms on Thursday. Let me show you where we're expecting storms on Thursday. So here's Tuesday. We're going to see some showers and storms throughout Colorado, Utah, Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, everywhere highlighted or circled there in red. But we're not expecting anything severe except for on the West Coast today. So you may see a strike of lightning, a rumble of thunder, but for the most part, it's going to be non-severe today. Tomorrow, very, very similar as we seem to see that trend for storms move to the east. But by Thursday, that's whenever we have that level 2 risk. It's a slight risk highlighted there in yellow for storms on Thursday. So I told you guys yesterday, it was only a marginal risk yesterday, but I said we will probably see that upgraded to a slight risk, and that's exactly what we've seen here. Will it be upgraded again? We're still several days out, so I think it's too soon to tell, but I don't think it'll be upgraded again. I think that it'll stay at a slight risk, but we'll see. I could be wrong about that. We are also inching a little bit closer to St. Louis for storms. Yesterday it was a little to the south of St. Louis. Now we're seeing those storms trend a little bit farther to the north in places like St. Louis, central and southern Illinois, the southern side of Indiana, southwestern Ohio, and the northern side of Kentucky and Tennessee. So that's your storm risk for Thursday. Let's keep moving on here. Let's go ahead and talk about timelines. So I talked about those storms on the West Coast today. You're going to see about all hazards possible for the West Coast today, including snow. You've got your tornado, your hail, and your wind risk out on the West Coast, and then snow up in the mountains. There's your winter storm in North Dakota. South Dakota could see a lot of snow as well, but it's really gonna hug the border between the U.S. and Canada. That's going to continue through the overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning. We see a little bit of a break tomorrow, but then we see those storms, of course, once again return on Thursday. Let's go ahead and look at your timeline here for Thursday. Here we go late on Thursday. I'm actually going to let's back this up just a little bit. Can we go all the way to Thursday afternoon? Let's see, how far do our short-term models go? We can get to Thursday afternoon. All right, here we go, 2:30 on Thursday. You can see that transition from snow to rain in Iowa, but there's your severe weather anywhere from St. Louis all the way to southern Illinois, southern Indiana, and Ohio. Northern side of Kentucky, we'll see storms on Thursday as well, but these should wrap up by midday on Friday. Then our attention turns to the south where we have another low pressure system. Now I think there's a lot of questions about this low pressure system. It's messy, it's not as organized. It comes with snow and colder weather. Yeah, that's absolutely possible. You're going to see those temperatures drop in the south later on this week. But how much snow are you actually going to get? Well, I know all of our Oklahomans out there are getting excited about potential snow. Don't get that excited. I'm going to be honest with you, don't get that excited. You're going to want to see a little bit more, or you're going to expect to see a little bit more snow up in Kansas. But Oklahoma, I'm not expecting a ton, if any, unless you're on the far, far northern side of the state. We're going to continue to see this wet weather track across the central and eastern side of the U.S. by Saturday, another rainy weekend for a lot of our folks in southern states. And then we're going to see more snow across the East Coast and our New England states on Sunday. Hey, I even told you guys last week to watch out for this Friday for snow in Omaha. Are we going to just barely miss that? Oh, that snow may be going to the south of Omaha. We'll have to see exactly where this lines up. But hey, I would love to be correct on that. A forecast over, what was that, 8 days out. I told you guys to watch for snow in Omaha. All right, let's move on here. Let's see. We'll see, I guess, if that happens. If I'm right, I'll let you guys know. If I'm wrong, you'll never hear from me. I'm just kidding. Okay, let's talk about that rainfall because we do see a decent amount of rain this weekend across the south, decent amount of rain across the north over the next 24 to 48 hours here. And then, of course, you've got some flood concerns out in California with just this day after day after day rain system that we've got going on. One more time to see your outlook for future jet stream. You can see that low pressure system that we're dealing with today. That's your snowstorm. Second low pressure system for severe weather on Wednesday and Thursday. And then third low pressure system for wet weather this weekend, Friday and Saturday. And then high pressure system sets in, which means that we're going to be pretty warm. How warm, you ask, and for how long? Well, that's a great question. Thank you for asking that. We are going to see temperatures above average on Tuesday, Wednesday. I told you it does cool down just a little bit on Thursday and Friday. But then we warm right back up. If you look farther into February, you're going to see that we will stay pretty warm for a good portion of February. Let's actually fast forward here to February 22nd through the 26th. So this is next, not this Sunday, but next Sunday? No. This would be this Sunday. So this is 5 days from now, the 22nd through the 26th, end of February. It looks like we are staying above average for this time of the year. And then let's go a little bit into our extended rain outlook. We stay dry down to the south, but we've got lots of moisture coming in both forms of snow and rain up to the north. And hey, if you've enjoyed this forecast coming to you live from the Raising Hail Tour today, head over to the raisinghailtour.com and get your Raising Hail Tour tickets. So raising-hail-tour.com. I'm going to move my camera around so you can see the dates here. We're in Chicago today, which is why you can see around me. I'm not in studio, I'm in Chicago. Actually, you can see more people here at the Raising Hail Tour on my right side. But go to raising-hail-tour.com to get your tickets for the Raising Hail Tour. We've got Denver next Tuesday and Minneapolis the Tuesday after that. Thanks for joining us today. I'm meteorologist Taylor Cox, and we will see you back here, same time, same place for the forecast tomorrow. I promise you I'll be back in studio tomorrow, so it'll look a little bit more normal for tomorrow, and we'll break down that storm risk, and we'll talk about everything that you can expect to see for Thursday's storm in studio tomorrow at noon. In the meantime, make sure that you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, Threads. We are on all of your social media platforms. Or give us a call at 855-334-4245 if you're interested in a subscription. All right, thanks for joining us today. We'll see you back here, same time, same place tomorrow.